Hello everyone, this is Jaideep here from ScholarsPro. Thank you for joining this session with us. It means a lot that you guys have decided to take out time out of a busy schedule and decided to attend this session. I intend to add a lot of value throughout this session for you guys. Okay, and my request to all of you guys is let's keep it very interactive. Okay, let's this not be a monologue. Okay, and what we have done is we have divided this entire workshop into smaller modules. Okay, I'm going to take you through the modules to just set the agenda right, and then going to tell you a little bit about myself and Scholars Pro, and then let's get started. Okay. Um, So what we are going to do is in the next 1 hour or so, we are going to learn first of all about the analytics fundamentals, which means we are going to set the foundation right. Okay, we're going to understand a lot of key terms that we keep hearing without understanding the meaning of them. So that's the first thing that we are going to attend to. The next thing that we're going to talk about is a lot of interesting case studies to broaden your perspective in the field of analytics, to give you a vision, what analytics is capable of doing. Okay, then we are going to focus on how do you get started. So one of the most commonly asked questions is, should I get started on R, or is it going to be SAS, or is it going to be Python? What is the right tool for you to get started? Okay, so we are going to address that very essential question. And because this workshop is a little more about R, so we are going to talk about what is R all about and how R plays a very important role in the life of data scientists. Okay, we are then going to move on to a very interesting demo of data-led storytelling. So the intent is to demonstrate how do you tell stories from data. Okay, and then we are going to talk about you guys. Okay, we're going to talk about how you can get started in this field of analytics. What are the key steps? Okay, and also we are going to talk a little bit about how we can help you go through this journey. How can we partner you essentially to become a data scientist? Okay, so that's the overall context of why we are here today. Once again, thank you so much for taking our time this evening to attend this session. Okay, so my name is Jaideep. I'm from Scholars Pro, and I have spent the last 11 years in helping a little more than 40 organizations across the globe to completely transform their business with the help of data. Okay, that's what I do for a living. I help businesses improve their decision making process with the help of data. In this journey, I know I was lucky enough to win several national and international awards as well. Okay, so what I intend to do is, I intend to share a lot of experience that I have, from my analytics days, and I'm going to tell you about, share a lot of practical things about analytics solution building. I think that is very important to understand. Okay, so with that, with that context being set and the foundation there, let's move ahead now in the workshop. Okay, so we'll move to the first part of the workshop, which is understanding what business analytics is all about. Okay, now, the intent is to understand all of these key terms. What is a data science? What is statistical learning? What is machine learning? What is data mining? We keep hearing these terms so often, right? But a lot of times we feel that they are almost synonyms. We use them interchangeably. So let's first try and understand what is the meaning of these terms. Okay. So, long story short, if you see, everything is under business analytics. Okay, so it starts from business analytics. Okay, and within business analytics, there is a specialized field of data mining. Within data mining, you have data science, and within data science there are two philosophies. One is called statistical learning and the other is called machine learning. Okay, so now we're going to start with business analytics, we're going to try and learn each of these terms. Okay. Now, what exactly is then business analytics? Okay. So you see, guys, business analytics involves three aspects. Okay. It starts from data and it moves to decision making. Okay. So anything that we do in analytics is all based on data. Okay, and the intent is always to help businesses improve the decision making. Now, in order to go through this journey, there are three things that you will essentially do. Okay, so you might do explorations, you might do predictive model building, or you might end up doing fact based management. Okay, so now let's understand all the three aspects of business analytics. We'll start with data. Okay, let's first understand what is the meaning of this data. Okay, so you see, guys, data, when I started off in my career, data primarily involved everything that existed in the organization only, which means the organizational data that is coming from typically a ERP system. So your sales data, your customer data, your human resource data, finance data, you know, supply chain data. So all these data would be used to enable decision making. Okay, but today if you see, there are a lot of other data points that we are also using to build analytic solutions. Okay, so there is the entire social media data. Okay, so data from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest. All this data can also be used to understand your customers better, to understand how to do effective marketing. All this data is also taken into consideration for any solution building and analytics today. Another important set of data that you need to understand is purchase data. So a lot of companies like Nielsen, S&P, Bloomberg, Capital IQ, all these companies exist because they sell data. Okay, so a lot of times you would purchase data from these companies and then add in your analytics solution building. This helps you to enrich your solutions. Okay, so every time we talk about data, guys, you will essentially resort to all these type of data points. When you go to an organization, they ask you to build a solution in analytics, you will seek data from these sources. Okay, and you will try to get this data in one place in a shape when you can start to analyze, when you can start the process of analytics. Okay, now before we move to the second part, we will talk about the decision making, because I think, guys, that is the most important thing. You see, guys, analytics have always been used. Okay, it was always there and it was getting used by governments, it was getting used in defense programs, it was getting used for predicting a lot of things. But recently, when it has been started to getting used in business, we call it business analytics. So you see, guys, analytics was always there. You were doing, governments were doing economic policies. They were predicting, population, GDP, everything, But today, it is called business analytics because the same principles are getting applied in businesses for only one purpose, and that is improving the decision making, guys. Now, what is the special aspect of decision making when it comes to analytics? You see, guys, if you step back for a moment and try to figure out how does organizations essentially take decisions. So organizations take decisions with the help of business managers. These business managers, they rely on their education, their experience in the business, and a lot of times the gut feel to take decisions. But today, the organizations are saying that business managers should take decisions only using data. Now, that's the context. Now, what happens is typically the decisions that business managers take, are usually reactive in nature. Now, what is the meaning of reactive decision making? It's like uh, you sitting in an office and you get a report of your sales and you realize suddenly that sales in the last month has gone down. Now, whatever you do, you will be essentially reacting to that situation. Now you will because whatever step you take, you try to figure out why is the sale has gone down, you figure out the salesman, you sack him, you change the product, you improve the quality, but whatever you do, the sales is already lost, you cannot get it back. Okay, so what is the choice that you have? It is like saying that you're sitting in a park, somebody comes and punches you in the nose. Now you're left with a broken nose. Now, whatever you do, you're going to react to the situation. Either you decide to fight back, or you decide to call the police, or you decide to run. But whatever you decide, the loss is already happened. This is exactly the problem with any reactive decision making. But now, today, with the help of analytics, we are trying to take proactive decision making, guys. So, the same sales manager sitting today can realize what is going to happen in the coming month. So, during New Year's, is my sales going to go up? Is it going to go down? Can I figure that out sitting today? Because if I can do that, then I can start to act. If it is not a positive thing, then I can start to act today and save it from being negative. Okay, so it is like you sitting in the same park, but this time around you see the punch coming towards you, you put your hand in between, and you save your nose from getting broken. Okay, so that, my dear friend, is called proactive decision making, and that is what is the key aspect of any decision making that you will do from analytics. If the decision making that you do from analytics is not proactive, then you are not adding the right value. You see my point? Now let's move to the life cycle of analytics maturity, the analytics maturity curve. So you see, guys, uh, every organization goes through a certain maturity in analytics to in their decision making process. Okay, so first they will only try to understand what has happened. That is usually through the first set of reports that an organization will generate. So a lot of guys who are working in reporting, in business intelligence, they are all talking about what has happened. So 10 years back, there was a huge boom on business intelligence. The fancy dashboard reports, all of them helped you understand what has happened. Okay. Then you will move to something called diagnostics, which says why did something happen? Can I explore the reasons? And that is called diagnostic analytics. The first one, what has happened, is called descriptive analytics. And then you will move to the predictive modeling. You'll start to predict things. You will start to enable proactive decision making by predicting things. You will say what is going to happen tomorrow. And finally, the holy grail is optimization, which basically tells you, if you know what is going to happen in the future, what is the best strategy that you have today to make it positive in future. So let's say I know that coming January, my sales are going to go down. Now, optimization will tell me, by using the same marketing budget, what can I do to change the sales from going down? Okay. So that is the holy grail, and that is called prescriptive analytics. So that's the whole analytics maturity. And as you go higher in the analytics maturity, your ability to add value to the organization, to gain competitive advantage from analytics, also increases. Okay, so that's the overall context. Now let's move to the three things that you will be doing in analytics. It is very important for you to understand the three things that you need to do. So number one is explorations. Okay, so when you get the data, you will start to explore data first. Okay, you will try to understand the patterns in the data, the trends in the data. You will try to realize, causality, correlation. You will apply several statistical methods to essentially tell the story in present in the data. You will explore the data. That's the first thing usually that you will do. The second thing that you will be doing is lot of predictive modeling. Now, when I use the word modeling here, it does not resemble a Hollywood model or an actress. It does not resemble a car prototype or a building prototype. No. Model here represents a mathematical equation. That's about it, guys. It's an algorithm. Okay. Nothing else. Okay. So when you say that y is equal to ax plus b, it's a model. In a model, you try to find out in the equation, you try to find out the unknown aspects. So, for example, over here, y is the sales, and I want to understand what impacts sales. So, let's say x is the quality. So, what I need to find out is what is the value of beta? Because if you tell me the quality, and if I know beta, I can multiply that and tell you the expected sales. That is what modeling is all about, guys. Okay. The last thing that you will do in analytics is fact-based management. In fact, a lot of work that you will be doing in analytics is all non-modeling based, and it is just plain and simple fact-based management where you are basically employing very smart business rules to take decisions. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, uh, every time you go to an ATM, you would typically withdraw 1000 or 2000 INR in cash, right? But one fine day, you go to the same ATM and you max your credit limit, you withdraw 10,000 bucks. What happens the next day? The next day, you will get a call from the call center, from the home loan department. And what they will try to do is they will try to pitch you, sorry, not home loan, personal loan rather. Okay, so you will get a call from the personal loan department of the bank and they will try to pitch you a personal loan. Why? Because this is proactive analytics. This is proactive decision making. And what you have done is you have done fact based management. So in your system, you have created a simple rule. The rule says if anybody withdraws money 5 times or 10 times the usual withdrawal from the ATM, then it means that the guy is in need for cash. He's cash trapped. Immediately get someone to give him a call on personal loan. That's the best chance you have got. And through this targeted marketing, you might just end up getting another customer. Okay, so that is called the fact based management. Okay, so now guys, we have completed the first section. Within the first section, the first subsection, which basically explains what exactly is business analytics. Now before we go any further, guys, any question till this point of time? Are you guys with me? Can I get some quick response, guys? Can I get some quick yes from everybody, guys? Can I get some quick response, please? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Very good, guys. So let's move ahead now. Moving ahead, let's try and understand what are the skills that you will require if you are thinking of building a career in this field? So you see guys, in business analytics, three type of things needs to come together before you can build a good solution. You need to understand statistics and algorithms. Okay, you need to understand those specialized algorithms which allows you to solve business problems. So for example, let's say I am a large telecom operator. Okay, lot of people are leaving me and going to Geo. I want to figure out who is going to leave me next week. I want to build a predictive model. I want to predict among my customers who is the guy who is going to leave me and go to somebody else next month. So I need to know, the first thing that I need to know is the right algorithm to which can help me solve this problem. Okay, what is those steps? What is the right algorithm which will help me solve this problem? That comes from statistical knowledge. The next thing is, even if I know the algorithm and I can write it on pen and paper, I need to build a solution. And that solutioning comes from information technology. Okay, in our case, it can be an R platform, it can be a Python platform, it can be a SaaS platform, it can be anything. But you need one of these information technology tools to convert that algorithm into a real life solution. And finally, a lot of people miss out on this one. You need loads and loads of business understanding. So for example, let's say the same, trying to predict, who is going to leave me and go to some other telecom service provider. Now, let's say people go to Geo because of data usage. Now, let's assume for a while that the guy who was building the model was not aware of this. Because he was not aware of the reasons why people leave you and go to Geo. Okay, if you do not know the reason, you will not create the right variables. In your model, you will not put this thing at all. And if you do not put this thing in your business, problem solving, okay, if you do not put this thing in your analytic solution building, your solution can never be appropriate or accurate. So you need to tell the tool that it is the data usage that is going to play a very important role. So get that variable inside the model exercise. Okay, if you don't get that variable, this will not work. So you need to put all the three things together in one place so that you can build the best analytics solution, guys. Okay, now moving ahead, let's move to the next one, which is data mining. So we just understood what is analytics. So what the hell is data mining now? So guys, data mining, as the name suggests, mining, in what do you do in mining? So when you do mining, you basically search for something precious. You try to find out something precious from a lot of dirt. In our case, what we are trying to find out, the expensive value, is actually um, uh, the insights. Okay, the decision make enabling insights. Okay, now that is the thing that you want to mine. And what is the dirt? The dirt is large amount of data. So anything that you do in data mining deals with uh, you know deals with finding patterns, finding trends in large data sets, so that you are basically able to mine the information. Now, within the data mining, there is a specialized field of data science. Now, data science deals with design of algorithms, developing the algorithm, and deploying the algorithm. All these things, okay, are part of data mining. Okay, now, sorry, data science I meant, not data mining, guys. Data mining, within data mining we were talking about data science. Now data science basically deals only with algorithms, period. Okay, you are not doing data science if you're not working on any particular algorithm. Okay, now within the data science, you are basically having two different, you know, two different philosophies. You know, one is called statistical learning, and the other is called machine learning. Okay, now what is the difference between statistical learning and machine learning? So if you ask me, there is not much difference. They are like twin sisters, they just decide to hang out with different people. So if you look at statistical learning, they were given long time back by statisticians, and we still use it. That is the relevancy of these tests. Okay, now statistical learning was started by statisticians. On the other hand, machine learning was started by programmers, computer science programmers who had nothing to do with statistics. In fact, one of the key difference between statistical learning and machine learning is the fact that in statistical learning, you will always have, more and more case studies and examples, whereas in computer fields, uh, getting that hardware is little more challenging. Okay, so that's the key difference between statistical learning and machine learning. Both of them, so machine learning is relatively new, kid in the block. Okay, whereas statistical learning has been around for a long time. Machine learning has recently come, and machine learning, if you ask me, is little more prevalent in high dimensional problems. When you have bigger problems, that is where you will use the machine learning techniques. Okay, but both of them essentially address the same question, which is how do you help in insight generation? How do you help in decision making? Now, another important difference between statistical learning and machine learning are the statistical tests. See, when you build any statistical learning model, you will always get in the output some tests. So, statistical learning models have backing of statistical tests. Now, what is the meaning of these tests? These tests basically tells you that this model that you have built is going to predict with a certain accuracy, let's say 80% accuracy, and the test will tell you that this 80% accuracy is going to hold true even tomorrow, even day after tomorrow. And this is not a random behavior. So statistical tests, if you ask me, are like okay tested stamp. They are like quality assurance. So you see, guys, it is one thing to say that my model is 80% accurate. It is another thing to say that this accuracy is going to hold true for a long time. And this accuracy is not a random accuracy. Because if it is a random accuracy, then today I am able to predict with 80% accuracy. Tomorrow, when new guys come, I might, fail, and I might just predict with 50% accuracy. What takes the guarantee? So there are statistical tests that will take that guarantee, that onus, to say that, okay, whatever you have built is not a random behavior, and this is going to hold true even tomorrow. Machine learning, on the other hand, are just computer programs. They will not generate any statistical outputs. So, for example, if everybody, I'm sure, has worked on Excel. Now, in Excel, when you do sorting, you do the sorting of 100 numbers, the numbers will get sorted, but you will not get any statistical output. Why? Because sorting is just a computer program. There are different algorithms to sort. Okay. So that is the key difference between statistical learning and machine learning. A lot of people ask me which is more accurate, which is the one which I should use. Now, please understand, guys, most of the time this decision is driven by which has got a better algorithm, which technique has got a better presence in that problem area. Okay. Now, Now moving ahead, so we covered the first module of our today's workshop or first session, whatever you want to call it. Now we understood the entire ecosystem. We understood what is business analytics, what is data mining, what is data science, and within data science, what is statistical learning and machine learning. Guys, we have finished one module. Is there any questions at this point of time? Guys, let's keep it responsive. I would request everybody to either say yes, you have understood, or state your question. Guys, come on. Let's keep it interactive, guys. Otherwise, it is no fun at all. Okay. So are there any question, guys? Okay, just type it in the chat window. If you have a question, just type it in the chat window, and we will take it. Okay. 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 So now, we are going to move to. Okay. So we are going to now move to the next section. Okay, and this next section is all about case studies. We want to learn how organizations across the globe have transformed their business with the help of analytics. So one of the most prominent example here is this baseball tournament. This is World Series, which is the highest tournament in US, and this is a baseball tournament. Now, there was a very interesting thing that happened. There used to be this gaming team, baseball team, which never won a single World Series in almost 100 years. And then what happens was, there was this guy, who is statistician by profession. He comes and he then starts to build stories around all the numbers, and he realized some very interesting things. Okay, so when they started to use analytics, they could realize that what is the right team composition. With the help of data, they could figure out that we don't need to spend a lot of money to get the right candidate to play. Okay, they could also create the game strategy basis analytics. Who should pitch to whom? Who should what is the overall strategy? So all of that was could be done with the help of uh, you know analytics. Okay, and if anybody who has not watched this movie called Moneyball, please go and watch this movie. This is a fabulous movie, and if you are an analytics enthusiast, you must watch this movie. Okay, moving to the next case study on personalized communication. Okay, this is a very interesting case study from Tesco. Okay, so you see, guys, Tesco is one of the largest retailers in the world and number one retailer in UK, but it was not always number one. It used to be number two to Sainsbury for a long time, and no matter whatever they did, Sainsbury was always ahead of them. Okay, now uh, now Tesco has, now there are a lot of interesting case studies in Tesco, which you must find time to read. Now, one of the interesting things, among several other interesting things that happened in Tesco because of analytics, I'll just tell you that story. Okay, so there was this, so there was this model, which was called life stage segmentation. Okay, so this model essentially allows you to figure out what is the life stage of a customer, which means, is he a young guy, is he a young girl, unmarried guy, unmarried girl, is he a couple, young couple, is he a couple with a kid, and baby. Okay, so all these things could be identified without the customer revealing this information. Tesco could find this out just by looking at the transactions, the products that the customer is buying. By using that particular information, Tesco could basically predict the life stage of any customer. Okay. Now, one fine day, a girl walks into the store. Okay, a lady walks into the store and she purchases lot of stuff. And the next day, the model runs on this girl as well, and uh, they suddenly realizes the next day that the model tells that this girl is going to become a mother very soon. So she is a pregnant lady. Now, like I said, that every analytics that you do has to enable decision making and action. If you do not act as an organization on insights from analytics, then the analytics is of no use. So Tesco also decided to act upon this information that this lady is going to become a mother very soon. So what do? They immediately created a bouquet of flowers. They added some coupons and delivered it to her house. Now, interesting enough, the house, the package was received by the dad of the girl. And the next thing that happens was, the dad called up our guy, uh, you know, who had sent the bouquet and everything. That guy was happened to be the store manager. Now the dad calls up the store manager and he starts to abuse him left, right, and center. And he tells the store manager that, what the hell are you guys trying to do? Are you guys trying to get my daughter pregnant? Okay, the store manager doesn't realize what has come and hit him on that morning. And he apologizes profusely. The next day, he sends another set of coupons, this time around on grocery. Okay, now, interesting thing. 2 months, 3 months down the line, the same dad calls up the same store manager, but this time it was the store manager who, sorry, it was the dad who was actually apologizing the store manager. Okay. And the dad said that, looks like you know a thing too about my daughter, which even the family is not aware of. And that, my dear friend, is the power of analytics. With analytics, with data, if you have the right skills, you can practically find out all the interesting insights. You can do anything that you want to do. Okay. Moving to the third very interesting case study on exploration now, is what you see here is the Titanic data. Okay, now if you look at this entire grid, okay, this grid has got basically segregation basis the gender. Okay, so women is in one bucket, children is in another bucket, men is in another bucket, and third is the total. I mean, sorry, the fourth part is the total. Now, what we want to see, or what we want to realize, is what is the profile of guys who are getting into, what is the profile of guys who managed to survive or who died. Okay, now if you look at this interesting insight, you will see that you start to realize insights even from uh, you know uh, even from plain simple data like this. Okay, so you can see that out of all the adult passengers, nearly 72% all survived. Out of all the children based passengers, there are 50% children who survived. But if you look at poor males, only 16% of those people survived. Okay, but if you are not only female passenger, if you're a female staff, your ability to survive increases to 91%, whereas among males it increases only marginally to 2%. Okay, so that's the beauty of having uh, okay, sorry. So now if you further drill down and you start to look at the class, okay, of the passenger travel. Okay. Now, if you look at women of first class, almost everybody survived. If you ask me, first class men, okay, they survived only 50 to 54%. Okay. But what happens if your, third thing is main best? Okay. So in the third, in the third class, there are barely any males who are who are surviving. So if you are a, a guy, and if you are traveling in third class on that fateful night, your chances of survival was very less, and it was almost 8% survival rate. So if you see, when we start to look at data from the lens of analytics, we start to realize a lot of interesting trends. Okay, trends that we were not aware before, the insights that we had not known before. Okay, so on that fateful night, Mr. Jack had no business surviving because the statistics and probability were working against him, whereas Miss Rose had to survive because the statistics were in her favor. Okay, today you can not only do things, if you have the right skills, today only your imagination is your limit. Let me show you some very interesting thing. You can start to build such case studies on your own. Today there are so much data that is available. If you go to data.gov.in, and you will start to see that all the data on, agriculture, government spending, legislation, national statistics, healthcare, everything is freely available, guys. Nearly 150,000 resources are freely available for your usage. Okay, and you can just download these data sets. You can create or your own visualization. You can create analysis on top of this and become a rock star. Spread it out to, through social media, and become a rock star overnight. Okay. What about only India? You can start to compare developing nation data with developed nation data. You have data.gov.uk as well. Okay, you can start to compare data from, other sites. What about, data.gov, which is a US site. Okay, so there are so many free resources that are available. If you have the right skills, what is most important is having the right skills today to build solutions. If you know the technology, if you know the algorithms, if you have business understanding, the data is lying all around you, and you can build fabulous analytic solutions and make a name for yourself. Okay. Now, that brings us to the end of the second section of our workshop. Now we will move to the third one, which is basically picking up the right tool. Okay. Now, uh, the choice, I think, always lies between the three tools, the three most prominent tools: SAS versus R versus Python. Okay. Now, this, if you look at this very basic infographic, you will realize that what is happening to the market share of these three tools. Now, you see, guys, SAS has been around for a long time. SAS is what made data science popular. Okay, but today it is on a decreasing trend. The prime reason being SAS is extremely expensive, and the features that is there in SAS is all available in R as well, or in Python. And all of these are free tools. So why should anybody pay a lot of money to work on SAS? Why not they use R or Python to do the same analytics, insight generation? Okay, now if you look at the market share, now you see this, guys. Earlier SAS had a 45% market share. In fact, in 2015 it had a 50% market share as compared to R. But today, as we close to 2000, nearing the end of 2017, the market of SAS has fallen significantly, whereas that market has been taken up by R and Python. Python has become, in 2017, the world's most popular programming language, and it has surpassed Java as well. Okay, but among R and Python, please understand that Python is a full-fledged programming language. Okay, it was never built to do data science. But R, on the other hand, was built only for performing data science activities, and R today has got a huge head start over Python when it comes to data science solutions. Python, on the other hand, is strong, but it is strong in machine learning algorithms, not in statistical learning. Okay, I will talk a little bit more about what the strengths of R and Python in the next slide. But right now, going with this comparison, if you see this, all the young guys preference across experience, all the guys who are youth, who are young, 55% of them prefer R. So if you are planning to get started in data science, I think R is the way to go about doing it. But what about those guys who have been around in the industry for a long time, who are used to working on the legacy systems, things that they had started long time back? Those guys are still working heavily in SaaS. Okay, even across different markets. Now if I'm on this graph, across markets, you will see that SaaS is strong only in two markets. One is healthcare and the other is financial services. You see 45% and 51%. Apart from these two markets, R is strong almost everywhere. Look at what is happening in technology and telecom. In technology and telecom, R is almost 50% or more than that. In the other industries. So this is the bigger pie, guys. If you are not too clear about the industry that you will decide to make your career in, it is always better to get started on R. R has got a huge market share right now, and people are really looking forward to hire. Organizations are really looking forward to hire people in R. Okay, and even if you compare the tools, in terms of features, you will see that our data handling, the graphical abilities, the advancements that are happening in R is way ahead of SaaS, almost at par or ahead of SaaS. Okay, in fact, when it comes to visualization and graphic capabilities, R is probably the best tool around, and it is way ahead of SAS and Python. That the complex visualizations that you can build very easily at a click of a button in R, with very less code, is just amazing, guys. Okay, so talking more about Python and R, because I would recommend, if you are planning to get started on R and Python now, which is the one that you should choose. See, if you're starting at a clean slate, if you have not exposed to programming, if you don't know Python, get started with R, because R has got a huge head start. Like I was saying, there are so many packages that are already built in R, that almost everything that you want to do. For example, you want to analyze cricket today, you will get something in R already built. You can just download that, install it for free of cost, and use it. It's very simple, guys. Python, on the other hand, is useful if you are trying to do application building. So let's say I have a business problem. I want to forecast my sales. Now you can do two things, right? One is you can build an analytic solution. You give the data and it will predict. Okay, it will predict the sales in the next coming months. The other way to do the same thing is, I build a solution for forecasting sales for any retail business. So it's a standalone product. You can take that product and give it to anybody else. Okay, give it to any organization. You can just take the product and just give it to any organization, and they will start to use it to predict sales. So that is basically the strength of Python. Python will allow you to build such applications very easily. Okay, so Python is more for developers and programmers, and R is more for data scientists. So keep that in mind, guys. Okay, having said that, the opportunities is there in both areas. I think there are ample opportunities in both areas. Okay, so you can choose either one of them as you decide to get started. Okay, now what I am going to do is, I'm going to take you through a very interesting demo on R, and a demo on storytelling. So what we are going to do is we are going to pick up some data from open in a ecosystem, open data ecosystem. We are going to pick up some data, and we are going to use that data to do some very interesting storytelling. Now, the story that we are going to try and understand is, who drinks more alcohol? Is it the rich guys or is it the poor guys? We are going to try and understand this story, guys. Okay. Now, please understand that the intention is not to teach you R. Nobody can do that in 5 minutes. Okay. Your point of arrival should not be to understand the code. You will not. Okay, I don't need to intend to teach you coding. I don't intend to teach you R right now. What you need to realize, however, is that what are the key steps to performing any interesting analysis. You also need to realize that how easy or difficult it is to work on R. Okay, and the most important thing that you guys need to realize is the interpretation. You see, guys, what we are going to do is we are going to do a very interesting storytelling, and then the important thing is interpret that story. Interpret that story so that you can decide appropriately. I think that is important. Okay, so analytics is all about, guys, analytics is all about interpretations. Okay, it is all about understanding the insights. It was never about programming, it was never about statistics, it is always about solving a business problem. That's what analytics is all about, guys. And I am going to break some myths here. People who are afraid of programming and thinking that, I am not from a programming background. Can I do analytics? Can I build a career in this? Guys, I know so many people. In fact, if you ask about me, I am not a programmer. I have won several hackathons, but I am not a programmer. I still copy paste code. I don't need to remember any code, any syntax. You don't need to, guys. What you need to be good at is problem solving. If you have a business aptitude, if you have an aptitude for solving problems, if you like challenges, and you like to solve those challenges, then data science is a very interesting role, and you will enjoy that place. Okay. So because coding and programming and all, think about it like this, that you want to become a shooter. Don't give a shit about how to make a gun. We are not here to focus on coding. We are here to focus on solutions, solving business problems. Codes are all there. You just need to copy paste stuff. You will understand. Okay. Now, having said that context, let me move to the demo now. So, in fact, before I move to the demo, let me tell you a little bit about R itself. So R is managed by, so if you want to download R or you want to do anything in R, just go to this website called CRAN R project. Okay. If you just type in Google CRAN, this will open up. So this is the group that manages R today. Okay. So they are interested with management of R, and you can come here, and the first thing that you need to do is you need to download the R thing. Okay, and this is all free, absolutely. Now, R is built uh, uh, in the form of packages. Now, what are packages? Let me give an example. Let me give an analogy. Okay, so packages are like Lego bricks. Okay, I'm sure everybody in their childhood has played with one of these Lego bricks. Now, packages are just like this. So each package is like a brick. You can download different packages. Each package solves a problem. You download these packages, they are all freely available. You download these packages and you put them together to build anything that you want to build. You just like you do it in Lego bricks. You put the bricks together to build anything that you want to build. Similarly is the case situation with R. Okay. Now if you go to R and if you go to task views, this is where you will realize the power of R and the beauty of R. R today has got packages on all these areas, guys. So look at the number of areas, from physics, chemistry to clinical trials to differential equations to environmetrics to finance to genetics to graphics, high performance computing, machine learning, optimization. Half of them I cannot even pronounce. Natural language processing, forecasting, social sciences, graphics, everything that you can dream of, you will find something here. You go to any one of these. So let's say you go to graphics. Within graphics, you will find so many different packages. So guys, these are the packages. You see Plotrix, okay, G-Class, G-Plots. These are the different packages. So these are for plotting. These are for graphics application. These are for graphics system. These are for devices. These are for colors. These are for interactive graphics development. There are so many packages, guys. All you need to do is download these packages, make some sense out of these packages, download these packages, install them free of cost, and start to use them. Now, if you want to search, you can search for a package. You go to search. Let's say you want to analyze cricket. You just type here cricket and press enter, and you will find a package even on cricket, guys. So there are packages like cricket R, York R. There are different packages, right? So all of these are already there in R. Download this and have fun. That's the beauty of R. So together with if you build the right skills, you have the data available, you have something like R already there with all the features. If you just have the solution building skills, you can just do rock and roll. End of story, guys. You can become a rock star overnight. Nothing can stop you. Only your imagination is the limit then. Okay, because all the fundamental things are there with you today. Okay. Now let me take you to the demo that I've been talking about. So this demo is all about how you can help us figure out who drinks more alcohol. Is it the rich guys who out of who like to spend money and they drink, or is it the poor guys who out of pain and misery they decide to drink more alcohol? Okay, so before I move to the demo, let me explain you this interface that you see here. This interface is called R Studio. Now, after you have downloaded R, okay, so here you download R from the CRAN site. Once you have downloaded R, okay, you need to download one more application called R Studio. So this is where you download R, and then you go here and just type R Studio, and you will get another website. Okay, so what is RStudio, guys? It is again free of cost, easily downloadable and installable. Okay, RStudio is a GUI, which is graphical user interface, that sits on top of R engine. Okay, now guys, RStudio is basically so R basically is pretty boring to use because it is a console based program, so it is not very interactive. Okay, and you will get bored very soon. So a better thing to use is a layer on top of that makes your life easy. Okay, it makes building analytics solution easy, and it is a little more interactive interface. So that is why I would always prefer you guys to do work on RStudio. Now there are several other interfaces also. You can choose to use others as well, but I think R Studio is the most popular interface on R. Okay, now once you have installed R Studio, just click on R Studio and you will see this interface. It will have 4 windows. The first window is where you write the codes. The second window over here resembles the R engine. The third window on the top right corner is where you see the entire environment. Environment means the RAM, the memory. You see the snapshot of the memory. So right now it says the environment is empty, which means there is nothing in the memory. Now you need to understand, guys, that everything that you do in R all has to come in the memory. That is very important. Everything that you do in R gets created in memory. Okay, so let's try and understand these four windows. Now let's say I want to print hello world or hello class. Now I come here, I come to the editor and I say print, sorry, I say print hello class, and if I press enter, nothing happens, nothing gets printed. So you see guys, this console is where things happen. Now if I copy this line and if I just paste it over here and press enter, you can see that it prints hello class. And this is the engine. This console, what you see here, this is the actually the engine of R. Okay. Now if you want to send a piece of line from this editor to the console, you can do that as well. You can just select the line and press Control Enter, and it will send that line to this interface. Sorry, to this console. So you can even select multiple lines. So you can say hello class, class. Okay, so you can say this is 3, this is 2. Okay, and if you select all of this, press Control Enter, it will print all of this, it will execute, send all of this to the console, and it will get executed. Now let's say I assign a value a equal to 10, and the moment I press Control Enter, it you can see that in the memory now it shows a is present there. Now the moment you created a, it is saying that this A is taking a space in the RAM, in the memory, and it is showing the value that it stores there. So RAM takes everything in the memory, and that is the biggest limitation for R. What that means is, if you're working on large data sets and if on your laptop or workstation and you don't have enough memory, then your system will start to get hanged very easily, and you will not have a good time working on that. Okay, so RAM is a limitation. Okay, so you must keep that in mind. Now this is the window where you see plots. So for example, I can create a plot very quickly. I can create just a histogram. Okay, now I'm just creating a histogram of some data. Okay, and you will see that this histogram gets created in this plot area. So these are the four different windows. You can zoom this plot. Okay, you can right click and you can save it as an image or copy it, paste it in a presentation, do whatever you want to do. Okay, so these are the four different windows in the interface. Now let's start to work. Once this interface is understood, now let's start to work on the demo that we have at our hand. Okay, so again guys, like I said, don't try to understand the code. The intent is to understand the steps to analyze and interpret the results. Let's try and do that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the data of some countries and their per capita income. So I'm going to get the data for different countries and the per capita income. Per capita income means on an average how much does a citizen of that country earn in an entire year. So in an entire year, how much does a citizen of that country earn? Okay, so rich nations will have higher values, poor nations will have lower values. Okay, so now at a click of a button, now guys, this data I am getting from a URL from internet. I'm getting this data. I press Control Enter, and this is running and this gets the data. Now let's look at the data. The moment I click on this, I can open this data. Okay, I can even take it out like an Excel sheet. Okay, and I can see that it's taking a while. Yeah, so this is the data that we have. So these are the different countries, and this is the per capita income that every citizen has. So look at this. Luxembourg is number one because there you have $90,000 as an average income, guys. $90,000 is the average income of everybody who stays in Luxembourg. In terms of rupees, this is equal to 60 lakh rupees, guys. So 60 lakh is a average income of a guy in Luxembourg. So guys, now you know which country you should aim to migrate to. Okay. Now there are other countries listed and there are the amounts. Now one important thing that you notice here is that This data has got this garbage along with the numbers. It has got this per capita written there. There is a comma, there is a dollar. All of this doesn't allow us to use it as a number. So we will try to get rid of these texts so that we can convert this into a number. Once it gets converted into a number, we can then start to analyze it. Okay, so in the next few lines over here, this 4 5 lines, I'm going to select in one go and just press Control Enter. And when I look at it again, the same data, okay, let me just close this. And if I open this data once again, I can see that this number has now proper, and I can use this. This looks like a number now, and I can use this now. Okay, moving ahead now, we are going to get the next data, which is alcohol consumption. So now we already have for every country how much do they earn. Now for every country we are going to look at how much do they drink. So what is the per capita consumption of alcohol? So on an average, how much alcohol do their citizens drink in an entire year? Okay, so once again I go to a all on open data ecosystem. I select this line, I press Control Enter, and this data gets created, and I can see that here are the name of the countries, and here is our metric which says liters per capita pure alcohol adult consumption. Now why is it written pure alcohol? The reason is, this is in unit, the unit is in liters. Okay, now liters of pure alcohol. Why pure alcohol? Because if you have beer, it has got less concentration of alcohol. If you have whiskey, you have higher concentration of alcohol. So 1 liter of beer in terms of alcohol content is not similar to 1 liter of beer in terms of alcohol content. So we wanted to measure what is the alcohol consumption. So we need to measure it irrespective of what is the type of alcoholic beverage that they are drinking. So that is why pure alcohol consumption is taken into consideration. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to combine these two information in one place, and then we are going to visualize this. So over here I go, and in the next step I combine this data, and now I can see different countries like Argentina. This is their per capita income, and this is their alcohol consumption. Okay guys, now what we are going to do is we are going to analyze through visualization. We are going to visualize this data now. Okay, so in the next line, okay, I am going to plot this data. And when I plot this data, I zoom this now. This is what is our job, guys. See, all these lines of codes can be very easily written. It's no big deal. What is the big deal here is interpreting this result. So when you look at this graph, when you look at this plot, what is the story that you realize? Now let me explain you this plot first. Let me first explain you what is this plot all about. Now on the x-axis you see here the amount. So this is the per capita amount in dollars. Okay, so how much does a country earn? And here, over here, this is the alcohol consumption on the y-axis. Now, if you pick up any dot in the plot, the dot represents a country. Every dot is a country. So, for example, this dot is Ireland. This means Ireland people drink so much alcohol. So, it is almost around more than 50,000. Sorry, not alcohol. This is amount of earning. So people almost earn on an average $50,000 in a year. And Irish people, Ireland, drink almost 13 or 14 liters of pure alcohol in a year. Now, what is the interpretation of this number? When I say 15 liters of alcohol, pure alcohol in a year, what is the meaning of that? As a data scientist, you should try and understand the meaning of that. So if you go to an Excel sheet and let's try and understand the meaning. So we are saying 15 liters of consumption in a year, which essentially means almost, now if I just for the sake of simplicity, I can say that almost 1 liter, I mean it is obviously more than that, but almost 1 liter, okay, 1 liter of alcohol in a month, okay, which actually means 1000 ml of alcohol in a month. Sorry about that, sorry. Yeah, in a month, okay, which basically means almost 3 or almost 33 ml of alcohol, pure alcohol in a day. Now, what is 33 ml of pure alcohol? When you have a bottle of beer, a bottle of beer is having 660 ml. Now it has got 5% alcohol concentration, right? So which basically means if you multiply 5% with 660 ml, you will get 33 ml of pure alcohol. So if somebody is having 12 liters in a year, it means one bottle of beer every day. That is the interpretation. Now if I go back to my plot, I can see that guys in Luxembourg, they are having more than 15 liters, which means more than one beer every day these guys have. Now guys, my question to all of you here is, what is the interpretation of this plot? What is the story that you learned from this plot? Now I want everybody to participate, guys. Can I get some answers on the chat window, please? What do you think is the interpretation? Okay, what do you think is the interpretation of this graph? Come on guys, I want everybody to participate. Can I get some response? Please guys, I request you guys to participate, because this is what is important, guys. This is what is required as a data scientist. Okay, okay. So let's look at this output. Let's try and understand this output. So what I feel is, what I can see here is that there are two clear trends. One trend is, as people have become rich, they have started to drink more alcohol. So all these rich nations are definitely drinking more alcohol. There is definitely a diagonal movement. And if there is a place like heaven on this earth, it is Luxembourg, because these people are earning shitloads of money and they are not shying away from drinking at all. They're drinking as much as they want and they are making a lot of money as well. Okay, so this is definitely one end of the spectrum. Okay, and then among the countries which are not earning enough, so these countries, who are almost on very low amount of earnings, all these countries, guys, there in these countries they have two different trends. One is the countries who are not earning and not drinking at all. But then there are countries like Nigeria. They are not earning enough, but they are not shying away from drinking at all. So people in Nigeria, they are drinking as much as people in Switzerland and Belgium. Look at these guys. They are not making any money, but they are very happy remaining drunk all day. Okay, so there are a lot of interesting stories that you start to understand when you start to slice and dice data and start to tell stories around data. Now, you want to know where India is? Okay, let me show you where India is. So in the next line, I run one line of code, and here I can see where is India. So India is right here in another end of the spectrum. We do not have money and surely we do not drink as much. Okay, so while we don't have money to eat food, how can we have money to drink more alcohol? So that's the situation where we are in. Okay, and similarly, you will see a lot of other countries like, United Arab Emirates. Now they are rich country, but there they don't drink money, they don't drink alcohol at all because of social taboo. Okay, because of religious reasons, they are, they are not supposed to drink alcohol. So people in United Arab Emirates don't drink alcohol at all. Okay, so that is why they are here in the entire spectrum. Okay, so that's the overall context. Okay, that's the perspective of, doing this quick demo. The idea was, learn how what are the quick steps. First you will try to get the data, load the data, then you will try to clean the data, then you will try to merge different data together, then you will try to rely on some visualization, and then finally you will interpret and take some decisions. So that's the overall thing that you need to do in analytics, and that is what you guys will be focusing on as data scientists. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to spend some more time in telling you guys how we can partner you and what lies in store for you guys as a career. We are going to spend the next 5 minutes in understanding what is in it for you guys and how can we partner you. Very quickly, let's complete this part. Okay, so moving to the next part. Okay, so you see, guys, today there are already a lot of analytics amateurs, people who are working on Excel sheets. There are a lot of semi professionals, people who are already knowing SQL, already knows R programming or couple of programming languages. That doesn't differentiate at all today. A lot of people are already there. Where we want you to be is, we want you guys to reach a position of analytics professional, which are still only 5 to 10% in an organization. And what differentiates them from the rest is their knowledge of analytics solution building, knowledge of algorithms. It is not about R programming, it is not about statistics, it is about solution building. Do you have the exposure of building solutions? Do you know how to build solutions, real life projects? Okay, as you think of getting started, guys, you have these four different career tracks. You can choose to get started as data engineer. Typically, as a data engineer, you will be the custodian of data. You will be working on a lot of data manipulation, getting data from different sources together, and you will be working on big data technologies and all of that. So if you are already working in data and if you want to continue there, okay, if you want to build a career in data, it's a great thing to do. Then you should focus on big data training programs. You should get yourself trained in big data, and you can get started as a data engineer. But if problem solving is what excites you, then the next stage is data scientist, which basically means that after the data is ready, can somebody work on that data? Can somebody put an algorithm together to predict things, to solve business problems, to help companies take decisions? And that's the job of data scientist. As a data scientist, you will be solving business problems, period. You will help organizations take better decisions and proactive decisions. So you will be building algorithms, models that allows proactive decision making. Okay, analytics consultants are those guys who will become consultants, who are domain specialists in analytics. You will become that after you are 4 or 5 years into the career. So that is not a starting career role. Okay, in the starting, you can do data engineer, data scientist, or data creatives. Now data creatives are those guys who are very good with programming. They already know 10 different languages. They know JavaScript, they know HTML programming, they know Python, they know multiple languages, and they want to build applications. So that's where data creative profile comes into the play. Okay, so my thing is that if you are starting from zero, if you are starting from scratch, data scientist is the way to go, guys. You guys need to focus on data scientist career. It's an extremely lucrative career, and it's very satisfying because you will be solving problems. There's nothing more satisfying than that, and you will be working with a lot of good minds, good people around you. And that is the game changer, as a career. Okay. Now, what are the opportunities that you have today? See, today my students get placed for marketing analytics, customer analytics, financial. Today there is HR analytics, operation analytics, sales analytics, social media analytics. You can do so many things. You can get a job in any of these areas, in any of the business verticals. So today you can target large consulting companies like Ernst& and Young, BCG, McKinsey, PwC, Deloitte. You can target large technology companies like Capgemini, IBM, all these companies. You can also target technology startups. You can target retailers like Shoppers Stop, Big Bazaar. You can target banks like HDFC Bank, Yes Bank. So everywhere you go today, there are huge teams that people are building in the field of analytics, and there is a huge shortage right now. Last year, guys, last year 20% of the jobs went unfulfilled. So guys, it is not about not being enough jobs, it is about not being enough skilled people. The important thing, guys, that you need to understand is gone are the days when you could get a job because you knew SAS or R. No, guys, you need to know how do you build solutions. Knowing programming is not enough and was never enough. You need to know what solutions can help you predict sales forecasting. You need to know what type of solutions can help you predict who is going to leave you and go to Geo if you are a Vodafone. Okay, so all these things you must know. That is most important. Now, when you think of getting started, guys, you have three ways. Either you can do a self-learning thing, you can get started on that, or you can do, enroll in a university program, or you can partner with a training program like ours. Okay, now self-learning is great. It is free, it is flexible, but the difficulty there is, it is time consuming, it is unstructured, there is no guidance, and a lot of times after even 6 months you will feel that you have not moved at all. University program, on the other hand, has got rich interaction. There can be campus placements, but the side effect of a university program is two things. One is there are so many programs that are there today, and they are so expensive. It requires tremendous amount of investments, and also there is an opportunity cost, because here you have to stay put at the same university for 1 year at least. Now 1 year of actually working in analytics, gaining that experience, all of that also you need to factor in when you take this decision. Okay, and if you have not if you're not going to the right university, which is going through a selection program, then trust me, you are not doing the right thing, because you will end up spending a lot of money and you will still be at the same place, because the quality of faculty, the content, the industry exposure will all be very questionable in all these university programs. Okay, finally, the sweet spot is the training programs like us, wherein you can get started in quick time. There will be structured support. There is low investment in terms of time and money. But again, the drawbacks there is, again, there are so many training programs. How do you choose the right partner? How do you choose the right trainers? So that becomes a little more critical here when you decide to partner in a training program. Now, I'm going to quickly talk about a little bit about, maybe just spend 2-3 minutes on who we are and how we partner as a company. So you see, guys, as a company, we are not only a training institute. See, we are a unique blend of consulting and training, and that is our biggest USP, guys. We have our own consulting projects, consulting clients, where we do analytics solution building for them. We have our own analytics products that we have built, which we sell to our clients. Now, what that allows us to do is, that allows us to bring very rich industry exposure and experience in our training programs, which nobody can. We leverage that consulting expertise in our training programs. And how do we do that, guys? In order to do that, okay, we focus on four things. Okay, number one is the content. Now, our content is the key. Our content is handcrafted industry level content. The focus is only on solution building. Okay. We guarantee that the content that you will be using here will give you an exposure which will put you equal to somebody working in analytics industry for at least 2 years. You will be at the same level. That is the power of our content. The type of solution that we will teach you to build will keep you at par with somebody who is 2 year experience in this industry. Okay. Our way of teaching, our pedagogy is very different. We follow a lot of visualizations, lot of analogy. To us it doesn't matter if you understand statistics or programming at all. We have taught people from commerce background who are today working in Deloitte and Ernst and Young in very good positions in analytics. So it doesn't matter, guys, what is your background. Till the time you're good with problem solving, we will help you cross that bridge. Okay. The other important aspect is the faculty. As a policy, we do not hire external trainers at all our trainers are in-house trainers, guys. All of them are award-winning professionals. They are all from top B schools and engineering colleges of the country and outside the country. They're only from Ivy League colleges, and they have work experience of at least 10 plus years across large consulting companies. Almost Fortune 50, Fortune 100 consulting companies is what we are talking about here. Okay. And finally, the proof of the pudding is in its eating. For us it is our feedback. We are probably the best rated institute today because of our consistent focus on the quality. Today we are able to give you 100% money back policy or a guaranteed learning program. We say that proudly because of the feedback that we have got. Anybody who partners us has got a option of, if you don't like what we teach, if I am not able to add value, you take your money and go back, essentially. Okay, so that's a guaranteed learning program that we offer. We operate on these principles. Okay. And till date, our feedbacks are not all nothing but the best. That's whether we have done institutional trainings, organizational trainings, retail batches in Kenya, in Colombia, in Middle East, in Singapore, in Europe, in India. Wherever we have done these programs, we have only got the best of the feedback, and that's our you know track record. Okay. So that's the thing. And how we can partner you, essentially, guys. It is not about just learning. Of course you will learn from us, but you can choose to work with us. Ours is a guaranteed internship program, assured internship. So if you decide to work with us, you have option to work with us in our consulting team. You can also have working assignments as interns in other large analytics companies. We have tie-ups there. Okay. The other important thing is we will help you find the right job. See, our partnership doesn't end till the time you get placed. It starts from a learning agenda and it ends with only one point of arrival, which is helping you get placed as a data scientist. Okay. Now, we also have invested a lot on the learning platform. Okay, so we have our own learning management platform which we call as LEAP, which stands for Learning Environment for Analytics Professional. Now the interesting thing about this platform is it allows you to seamlessly learn anywhere, anytime. So I will tell you more about this when I talk about our batch. So this is when the next batch is getting started. So our next batch is called is on data science with R. Okay, so this is our next batch. Okay, and the next batch is going to start coming Saturday. Okay, and the classes are always going to be weekend classes, only on Saturday and Sunday, 3 hours each weekend. I mean each Saturday and Sunday. Okay. And the course covers elements of storytelling from data. You will understand every aspect of statistics, every aspect of exploration, how to explore data. You will understand, learn everything on R, from basics to advanced. You will learn on R. Okay. And Then once the foundation is there, we will focus on solution building, guys. We will focus on all the most prominent solution building algorithms. We will do this using 10 real life projects. These projects are then written on your resume, and these projects actually change your game essentially. These are the game changers, because you will be working on projects like 3000 store retailer data to predict sales. You'll be working on large telecom operator data to predict who is going to leave you and go to some other telecom operator. Now, these projects, when you write on your resume, you are no more a fresher, because you are able to show to the recruiter how you are different, and you are able to show to the recruiter that you know how to build solutions. Okay, so that is there, and we will help you prepare for the interview. We will write your resume, we will craft your resume, we will help you prepare for the interview, which means questions plus answers will be suggested to you, provided to you, not only in technical rounds and case studies, but also for personal interviews. And most importantly, we will guide you with 100% assured job search techniques. You will not get a job because you have put your resume on monster.com or naukri.com and other job sites. You will get a job because you will do certain things which we will tell you to do, and they will assure you that you get a job. Till date, everybody who has partnered has gotten a job between a period of 1 to 3 months. Okay, it takes a while, it is not a magic wand, but if you follow what we ask you to do, within a period of 2 to 2.5 months, you will build the skill. So this program is lasts for 2.5 months. In that period, you will definitely build the skill. You will work 2 day the weekends, you will work with us, you will spend time with us 3 hours learning new things. Over the weekdays, you will get a lot of assignments. You will log into the leap, the LMS. You will get access to the video content. Whatever sessions you attend on Saturday, Sunday, all those materials will be provided as recorded sessions on the leap. You can access the leap. Okay, and basically, as you will find the exercises. If you get stuck in the exercises, you will find solutions, you will find video solutions to those exercises. There are separate doubt clearing session, guys, which are separate from 3 hour learning modules. Separate doubt clearing sessions are held so that to ensure that no doubts are left. Okay, if you want to repeat classes, if you miss out on a class, you can repeat class in another batch. Okay, so we will partner you guys in a very different way. Ours is not in a way that you come and you learn and you go. No, we don't see it like that, guys. Our partnership is a very strong partnership where our intent is to help you get placed, because that works for us. Then you are our torch bearers for our consulting assignments. Today we have got several consulting assignments thanks to our students. Okay, so that's the partnership that we are looking for. This partnership is going to be a long partnership where we will ensure that we are there with you throughout your analytics career. That's the intent, guys. Okay, and after 2.5 months, we will guide you with the placement process. It will take you a while. From 1 month, somebody gets placed in 1 month, somebody gets placed in 3 months. So within a period of 1 to 3 months, everybody gets placed, and which will happen to you as well. Okay, so that's the overall context that I wanted to share with you guys. I would love to take questions now, guys. Whatever, I hope that you guys liked the session. Okay, I hope that you guys are I managed to add some value to you guys. Guys, I'm opening a set of polls now. Please participate in these polls to give me a feedback, whether you like this session or not. Our intent is always to add as much value as possible. This is not a sales pitch. Please understand that the indeed intent was to help you understand what analytics is all about, what can you expect in this career, what are the different tools, how are they different, how can you get started on our what does it means to become a data scientist. So these are the things that we wanted to cover in this session. I hope I managed to do justice to this. I am very keen to connect with you guys on one-to-one basis. Also, guys, feel free to connect with me. Tell me all the doubts that you have. Let's address the questions now. Let's open it up for question answers. Thanks for being such a great audience. Thanks for being patient in this journey. Thank you so much, guys.